It's only if you make a comment about using numbers. Like you said,
Ladies and gentlemen,
talk to us today, so I won't all of ours, What's Group are here today and many others. Some years now to support one another through the loss and the grief and the difficulties that we have to face as relatives. But as you can see by our representation here this morning, we're becoming political because of what the government is doing or not doing right now. As carers, we are so delighted that we are at last being listened to, and I really want to thank the senior staff members of the Footscray Private Hospital for including consumers and carers in their meeting and hearing what we have. Now in nearly every arena of mental illness, as are the voices of the consumers of mental health services. It's no longer them and us, but all of us working together for our mutual welfare. All except the government, it would seem at this point in time. The crisis we are facing is one of a high dependency ward at last in the Footscray Psychiatric Hospital. It was long overdue, but we are horrified at the reduction in beds already made this year. And now we're told 8 more to go, and the 40 remaining are for acute patients only. Only acutely ill people will be admitted to hospital care. So what happens to those who are very ill but cannot be hospitalised when they need it? They are people, not statistics, and they are ill people, not costly nuisances. When our relatives fall ill, they need professional help. But we carers need help too. We are often frightened and confused, and we're always breathing deep down. Up till now, there have been no crisis teams in the western suburbs. So when a crisis happens in our homes, as they regularly do, our relatives' behaviour becomes totally unmanageable because of their illness. Family members of all ages can be frightened by what follows: delusion, paranoia, threats against lives and property, and threats against themselves. Situations may become violent and which relatives are separate to handle such situations appropriately because of their own strong emotions and grief. Although we get this, and so with something like that happens, what's the kind of thing to drive the hospital? In your driveway of these men, these other majors with the training that they have, and that's not complete, I believe. I've no complaint with the police, but they take our sick relatives away as if they were criminals, sometimes under duress and in paddy wagons. But that's the system as it works today. Crisis teams operate efficiently in other areas of Melbourne and should be available when such trauma strikes in this region. These crisis teams can take action. They can allay the distress, administer treatment and take the danger out of the situation. However, the crisis team's role is critical if there are not enough beds available in the hospital when the ill person needs ongoing treatment. Apparently, we can get a crisis team in exchange for 8 beds. It's obvious that's no solution. We need both the crisis teams and the beds and long-term rehabilitation and adequate housing for people that have been to us. It is so short-sighted of this government. I believe it will cost them dearly in the long run, unless they listen to us and reverse the process immediately. Community care units and other suitable housing for the not-so-ill are desperately needed. A housing complex for 40 people has been ready to go for some time now, but it's been blocked by bureaucracy and the withholding of funds. All services in the West have been inadequate for a long time, and as you've heard today, the West has not ever been given an equal slice of the funding allocated to mental health services. That's one of the penalties for it being a safe seat. There is no need to win votes here, no matter who is in government. Well, that may well change if we ever continue to champion lives in this community of inequity. So we must shout loudly enough, and I love the shouting this morning, for Mr. Kennett and Mrs. Tian to hear our voices until they stop this budget down slashing. If staffing and beds have to be cut, then all of the necessary community services must be put in place first. That was the promise. That's what we demand. Thank you.
What we're going to do now is stroll down to the government offices where the local member is going to visit the board. So if you just go out, please.
Okay, thank you. We'll catch up with you soon.